to know where you come from, you will never find where you're going.
When Nigeria is working, we will all know.
PDP and us are diametrically opposed.
SaharaTV, TV, the best TV, information, education, inspiration. SaharaTV,
I am from SaharaTV. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Information, education, inspiration. SaharaTV, they get mouth, they get mouth.
Hi, welcome back to SaharaTV. My name is Rudolf Okonkwo. Wherever in the world you might be, you must have heard about the Sandy hurricane that stormed New York here last week. I think it's on Sunday, and the devastation it caused. Over 50 people so far have died, and the New York lifestyle is not what it used to be anymore. We have the marathon that was supposed to take place here tomorrow cancelled, and that's the first time in more than 40 years that New York decided to cancel a marathon. It touched the lives of so many people, including Africans, and today we are going to explore some of them in our hot topic. I have with me here Nick, one of our crack reporters and producer on SaharaTV. Nick, welcome to SaharaTV.
Hi, nice to be here.
We brought Nick here because during the hurricane, he risked his life to go out there and get you some of the videos, clips of what happened. This is our own clips, not what you see on CNN and other networks. Nick, why did you go out there in the midst of this hurricane?
That's a very good question. And just before I get into that, I just want to pass out my condolences to the families and that lost loved ones during Sandy. But basically, the reason I went out is obviously I work for Sahara and I'm a videographer. So at the time, I had thought about it, but the danger was just too great. But my landlord was actually sick on the night of the hurricane, and we're put in a situation where we had to take him to the hospital, So in the process of taking him to the hospital, I took my camera with me, and what you will see in my vlog is basically my encounter with Sandy in my area of Queens, Hollis.
What part of Queens? You were going to what hospital?
I was headed to Queens Hospital.
Okay.
With my friend who you also see in the video. His name is Shawn Shameem. And from Hollis, we drove to Queens Hospital near Grand Central. And on the way back home is when the actual, the fire started in the power lines.
Around what time was this?
Approximately, I would say around 9 p.m. approximately, anywhere between 8 and 9. Yeah.
And who was driving? How could you be? Who was driving and who was taking the video?
During the driving moments that you'll see, I was actually the passenger handling the camera, and both me and my friend are talking. So you kind of see things through my eyes, through my perspective, and when you get to see the fire in the driveway, which you'll also see in the vlog, is my friend and we kind of exchanged, because there was a period in time where I was trying to get to check on the neighbors to see if they were okay, because there were neighbors across from us who were standing outside. But yeah, it was a very dangerous situation, and I'm just thankful that I wasn't hurt.
There is this feeling in some communities in New York that the media didn't cover their area. What you got from your video, is it different from how is it different from what you're seeing on CNN and other networks?
Right. I mean, The location, it would vary from location. In my location, we're more inland, so we're away from the coast. Although we're close to Long Island, which is, you know, closer to Nassau County is where I'm located, or where this video is actually located, where it was shot. But we didn't necessarily get the flooding, obviously, because the surges didn't reach that far. But what we did get was the winds, the microbursts, which caused you know, trees to fall over, to get uprooted. There were parts of houses, like gutters and shingles flying around, branches falling, and you know, anything that could be carried by the wind was basically dropped. And you also see towards the end of the show some of my pictures that I took from the neighborhood after, you know, of those trees, the power lines, and things like that. But yeah, a lot of people did get it worse, because in Breezy Point, Queens, if I'm not mistaken, at least over 50 houses had burnt down, you know, and from last time I checked, about 50 people had lost their lives during this, in New York City, that is.
Now, when you took someone to the hospital that night, what was the hospital like? I mean, were there a lot of people, or?
Surprisingly, it was dead. It was really quiet. We were maybe 1 out of 6 people that were in there. But there was not a lot of people. If anything, because I mainly think because when I was watching the news, authorities, as far as the president, the mayor, they were basically advising people to stay in their houses, and I basically did the opposite. But yeah, most people did heed to that and stayed indoors.
All right, we are going to watch the video now, and when we come back, we are going to see more and talk more about the aftermath of this hurricane and what it means for Africans who live here in New York. So enjoy the video, and we'll come back and talk more.
It's like a storm that people here have not seen, and they're saying, well, the storms haven't been so bad, this one won't be bad. And the authorities are saying, well, forget history, because this one is going to be quite different from anything you've ever seen.
Oh, I just got an emergency alert on my iPhone.
What does it say? Stay home?
I'm trying to figure that out. Let's see.
Until 4 a.m. says take emergency, take shelter now. Something worse is about to come because it just got quiet.
You just received that on your cell phone?
Yeah,
also,
right now on my cell phone, dogs. This is ridiculous, man. Oh my God, yo.
Hurricane Sandy. Queens, New York.
Disaster, yo. People wasn't taking it seriously. Oh, they gotta have to think twice now. They ain't even done yet. Second surge is about to come through in a real bit, bro. So, see what goes down.
You see all that smoke?
Yeah.
It's coming from the tree. There's a fire about to start, bro. Look at that. Now, there's cars right below that. Yo! That's hello.
Okay.
There's a fire out here, bro! Oh shit, shit! Yeah, now call 911. Right, so we have a fire on our block because of electricity, Hurricane Sandy, and I'm calling emergency response right now to see what they're telling us, whether they're going to be able to respond or not. All right, you getting this? As you can see, that the lines are practically catching fire. Yeah.
911. The following message is for the deaf.
As you can see, we've got no emergency response. No emergency responders about to attend to us anytime soon until the storm is over. Are you guys okay? Just checking on the neighbors. Are you guys okay? Yeah. Okay, cool.
as you can see, the whole street's blocked off. Pretty hazardous out here.
What's this over here touching the ground? Right here. That's not live? What is this, Shawn? A tree?
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the road.
Hi, welcome back to Sahara TV. This is Rudolf. I'm with Nick, and we've been talking about Sandy, the hurricane. And you remember before the hurricane hit, there were a lot of warnings and preparations, but yet it appeared as if the city did not anticipate the amount of damage. So after the hurricane, you went out again to get some clips of the damages. Let me ask you, up to now, we are seeing long lines at gas stations. We are seeing millions of people in New York City alone without power. What did you see when you went out the next day?
In this following video that the viewers will see, basically we went to an area in Queens that called Rockaway Beach. And it's actually closer to the coast. It's right by the coast, by the water. And the reason we went there was basically because of proximity from our houses, and New York City was kind of disabled with the transportation. The roads were blocked, and transportation wasn't. So that was the convenient place for me to get to with another guy, Fungai Maboreke. So when we got there, we noticed the erosion from how the water came all the way from the sea to people's houses. Where the tide had never reached before. And obviously, being that this was a day after, this area, some areas were actually dried out, but you could see the salt and the sand. So there was still evidence. You will even see a crate, those container crates that you have on those shipping yards, toppled over on top of a fence. And I couldn't really explain exactly how that happened, but we kind of, Fungai and I kind of guessed that the water washed it, with all its weight and toppled it over. And we got to encounter families there who were basically in despair. Their houses were flooded, Some people have mentioned water reaching up to their chest level.
What didn't they evacuate? I thought there was a warning that people who live in certain zones on A, they were supposed to evacuate. Did you ask them why they stayed?
We did actually, and that was one thing that Fungai and I had spoken about while shooting it. Why these people are still there. But a lot of them, said they didn't have anywhere else to go. This was their home. They didn't have an alternative to go anywhere. And after Irene, which was only a few months ago, nothing really as devastating happened as this superstorm. And although they were warned, a lot of people took it for granted, and I guess they found out the hard way.
All right, we are going to watch the video, but before we do that, it's interesting because our question of the day today is, what do you think will happen if a storm like Sandy hits a city in Africa like Lagos? We also asked you, how can Nigeria learn from the way the governments of officials here in the United States responded to the hurricane? So we are going to watch this video, which is the aftermath of the Sandy hurricane storming the city of New York. And after that, we are going to come back and talk about the current crisis, which is that there is no gas in New York. And so enjoy this, and we'll come back. Okay.
Okay, we're almost like 300 yards away from the ocean, and if you notice that the ground, we have a lot of dust and sand obviously being washed off from the ocean coming this way, and if you observe some of the trees, you have a lot of debris and stuff stuck on the base of the trees, meaning that all here was covered with water obviously coming from the ocean. And we're almost like 300 yards away, and we have beach channel drive there, and then 1 block down, that's where we have the ocean and the boardwalk. We're gonna see what's left of it, and up there the A train runs, so just after beach channel drive the A train runs up above, so we're just gonna assess the damage as we keep going. And then I observed a whole container that's sitting on its side and almost balancing on a fence, and I think that was as a result of a force of the water. So we're gonna pull over here and look very closely, because this container, wherever it was sitting or wherever it was, kind of like tumbled over the fence and rested on the side into the other yard. Excuse me, ma'am. Hello. Was this container on that one there? This container? You don't know? Wow. Do you live out here?
Oh, I live in the street there.
Okay, tell me, was the water coming all this way from the ocean? Were you here when it happened?
Was this high in my apartment?
Wow. Now you don't even have any power.
Oh, there's no power.
Wow. So what are you guys doing for food? Is there any place where you're going
Nothing. My husband, he drives the train, and he had to go into work today, although they're not doing anything. So I'm just here losing
Is there no place where they've told you to go fetch some food? Anything from the State Department, from the federal? Nobody?
Oh, nothing, nothing.
So where do you charge your cell phones? Where people
He took it into work. That's why I don't have a phone. He took it in so that he could get current to charge it.
Wow.
I have nothing. It is so frustrating. Can you jump? Can you scream? What could you do?
So there's obviously no way you can go to find out anything from anybody.
Oh, there's nothing. Who are you going to go to? Everybody's in distress.
Wow.
Everybody's in distress. This is 3 years since I'm living here. I have to get out of here or I'll lose my mind.
Wow.
This last year, but it was much easier. The storm wasn't that bad. But this year, my whole body is in pain.
Wow.
Terrible. His truck, he has a truck higher than this. It's flooded. He had to get a flatbed to take it to Jamaica, pay $150. Whole truck was covered, so you could imagine how terrible that is.
It is. Now, the way, I'm very, very sorry. I wish I could, help in any way, but I'm sure if I hear of anything, I'll keep driving around. There must be a center somewhere where everybody can go, at least maybe to get some food or something. I'm just not too sure.
That is terrible. I don't feel hungry at all. This is 3 days. I haven't eaten anything, or I don't even want to drink water. So I'm not even hungry. So I know it's going to tell on me later.
But where is this place where people can go and get the food?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Thank you, my sister, and be strong as much as you can.
All right.
Wow. So you heard it. She's been all this time, everybody's walking helpless, hopeless, and just hoping that something is going to come out of this. They don't know where to go, who to tell, and where to even get assistance. They have no cell phones, no electricity. It's a hopeless situation. And she says that the water was waist high. In fact, just above her waist. She's about 5'7", 5'6". And that means it was quite a surge. So we're just gonna go across to the beach and maybe just assess the damage up and close. It looks like we might not be able to access it through this way. We're gonna go. We're with Karis, and obviously you can see that this is the remnants of the disaster that they experienced. Are you throwing out all your furniture now?
Yeah, everything got damaged.
Okay, how high was the water?
Well, like to here.
Okay, and were you inside all the time?
Yeah, we was inside, and then we managed to get out to go next door to go upstairs.
Okay, and then after how long did the water start subsiding? Or
how long was it? Couple hours? Couple hours.
Wow.
Couple hours.
So everything is destroyed. Pretty
My
much.
refrigerator was floating, stove, for everything. Nothing. We didn't save anything.
So now, has the government, the state, offered any assistance anywhere?
I haven't spoken to them. We don't have no electricity. We can't call nobody, so everything is off. So no, you all are the first ones that came by to say anything to us. We haven't spoken to anybody yet.
So there's not even any information of maybe they've established a center where people can go and get free food, maybe get assistance, blankets, who knows?
Maybe, but I don't know of it yet. They haven't. I'm hearing the Red Cross.
Right.
I'm hearing that, but I have five children, so.
Yeah, but has anybody told you or pointed that if you go to such a place, the Red Cross will be there? Or
No.
are people waiting for the Red Cross to come?
No, I don't know. We don't have any information.
So now, after Irene, because I believe this is kind of like the second in recent months, right? What happened? Were you affected this much, or?
Irene didn't do anything. We were fine.
You were fine.
We were fine.
So were you given any evacuation orders before this storm?
Yes, we were saying, they said that we should evacuate, but we didn't really have anywhere to go, me and my kids, so we stayed here.
Wow. Wow. So what are you doing for food? Are you having to go and buy?
Neighbors is helping out, trying to pull together right now.
Wow.
Can't go to no stores to get anything because everything is shut down.
Well, so we're over at Carrie's place, and this is all the damage that Sandy has done, and it's not so pleasant. And everywhere you look, you see cars still submerged, you see property on the sidewalk. It's not an easy thing. We're just driving by the MTA. This is still in Far Rockaway, and we're told that the transport system is also crippled. In fact, it has been suspended for the last 2 days, and only today the buses were partially allowed to operate, and the trains have not started resumed operations yet.
So, welcome back. 5 days after the storm, the frustration is so high everywhere in the city. A generation that are used to getting instantly what they want, whether it's messages or things, they cannot understand how the government of the United States is incapable of bringing light to them the next 24 hours, or why they don't have gas to fill in their vehicles. So why the subways are not running everywhere. Why is that? Do you know why people feel that way? Is it because that the impression that America is the greatest country in the world, that has the greatest military, that can do the greatest things, and yet America cannot provide for them instantly? We see reports of people eating from trash can. We heard that someone pulled a gun while they were waiting for gas. What do you think is going on, based on what you've seen out there when you went out to look at the aftermath?
I mean, as a New Yorker, I would say that, first of all, I've noticed that during times of trouble or times of despair, like, you know, Sandy or 9/11, a lot of people pulled together during those times. to help each other. But it's like in my neighborhood, for example, the neighbors were checking on each other even during the storm. But right after, you see the frustration in their eyes, and because now their living conditions have changed to the point where they don't have gas, electric, you know, they don't have the amenities that they used to, that they feel that they're entitled to, you know. So, but if I went to Africa, or, you know, I went to Zambia or something, and the lights had gone out, I'd probably get a, you know, a charcoal burner and cook off that, you know, and that's something I would be probably used to adapting to, you know. But you know, in a society where people are given these luxuries and it's taken away from them, I would obviously, you know, expect to see such behavior. And as you could see, the lady that we saw by the crate, she really didn't want to talk.
Yeah, but also we have to note that people have food stored in refrigerators and freezers, and after 5 days, many of them are going to be spoiled. So that may be part of it, and people are expected to go to work, and if you don't go to work, you are not going to be paid, and if you don't have gas to go to work, you are not, you know. So I think there are maybe legitimate reasons, but in general, my feeling is that people have this idea that United States government can make anything happen overnight, and they don't understand sometimes there are logistic reasons why the power companies are not going to be able to reconnect the power in 24 hours.
You're very right. You know, even I was talking about this with the first guy that you saw in the video, you know, and you know, a lot of people right now are complaining, oh, we're not getting help. But when you look at the scale, the magnitude of how much help is needed out there, you know, you have the Staten Island people complaining that they've been ignored, you know, and they're not the only ones out there, not to sound unsympathetic, you know. So now, yes, the federal government could pull its resources together and act more quickly, but they also have to understand that this takes manpower also, you know. But I'm not supporting, you know, I'm not supporting, maybe they should push harder. I heard Giuliani talking on CNN last night saying that Obama wasn't doing, you know, what needs to be done. You know, maybe he isn't.
Yeah, but I saw that too, and the question that you should ask is what happened to the local government and the state government? Why must the president be on the ground to see that things work out? And we also know that the mayor of New York asked him not to come, you know. So, and Giuliani that was talking about he's an apostle of small government, little government, that the federal government is too powerful and the federal government should not be involved in everything. And now he's talking about Obama. No, that's politics, right?
Yeah.
Well, the next video we're going to see is about people now lining up at gas stations looking for gas.
Yeah.
For those in Africa, you may call it petrol. That's, you know, that's what they call gas. Yeah. So we're going to see that video, and again, when we come back, we are going to interview Africans, real people who are actually victims of this. We're going to talk to them, and so stay tuned.
Hurricane Sandy keeps wreaking havoc throughout the city, and right now we're in Jamaica, Queens. This is Hillside Avenue at 197th Street. As you can see, there's a very, very long line of cars trying to get gas just because some gas stations are still closed or there's no electricity. So this is the only place that people are getting gas. We've spoken to some motorists who say that they've been stuck in the lines. As you can hear, some of them are causing a congestion. They've been on line for over an hour just waiting for gas, for their turn to pump some gas right here. And we'll keep rolling and get maybe closer to find out from them exactly what's going on. There's a commotion right there.
Gas finishing out everywhere.
Really?
Everywhere, bro. No more gas. No gas.
So, what are people doing? They're trying to get as much gas as they can. Because, or is it just that
New
some
York
gas?
City, no gas, man. Period. It's like diamonds. You want so much they don't have. Demand high, supply low.
Is it because of the hurricane or this is
Hurricane.
Okay, because I thought maybe they are not.
No.
They don't.
Because the trucks are moving in and out. You know, trucks bring the gas in?
Right.
There.
Okay, so what's happened now? The pump is stopped?
Yeah, it's pump like you pump.
Wow, this is crazy. Let's go find out from this side and find out.
Yeah, let him be back up. Man, come over here, please. Taking gas here.
Okay, so I'll wait after that.
No, hold your money now.
Okay.
Come on, with junk stuff, they give them money enough for their junk. The white van.
I said somebody else.
He's been there, but I'm saying he's been there for a minute. He's filling shit up. They've been filling up jug after jug. People coming up hitting them with money. You see, I'm next. We're sitting here waiting.
There is no one at
So why are you calling? Can you let your man know?
Do you know exactly what's going on right now?
I hope you get through. Right now, everybody wants gas.
Okay, why is it that everybody
they done gas?
at the same time? Is it because is there a shortage of gas somewhere, or are you the only one that's open right now?
It doesn't take that long. Cuz, move this shit up!
Are you the only one that's open right now?
Yes.
For gas? Is it
See,
because
now they fill up shit in the back of it.
We
See?
are also closing because
Listen, 40 from the big. See how now they fill up in the back of their van? That's not right.
Yeah, I
As you can see that
See, they just
everybody's
filling up generator after generator jug.
This is
Can I
the
get
only
$4
place
for
that's
the
open serving gas. I'm not too sure. It's
Yeah, I can't get there because the white van is doing everybody in the fucking neighborhood.
or it is just
No
a
gas.
situation.
After this cab right here, I'm right here, the white minivan.
No gas. No gas.
Okay, can I ask you, Sodi? Yeah, just one question. Is it because of this hurricane that this is?
Yeah, because everybody's closed and we were having gas only.
Oh, okay, so it's not that there's a shortage of gas in the States. It's just that everybody else is closed and you're the only one open.
That's right.
And is it that you're the only one open because Hillside is very big?
People are
Yo, so I'm online for an hour. I'm right there. I'm right there, the white van. I'm right there.
There's no gas.
It is so. People just put gas money.
No gas.
Listen, I'm moving up
Sir,
now.
I've been right there
so
for an
as
hour.
you can see, everybody's very
I'm moving my
upset.
van. See the guy
And
right
this
there?
is the only place
I'm
that's
right
still
here behind
open
the gas.
because all the other gas
It is
stations
so.
are closed because of
There is no
the
pump here
hurricane.
where your car is
And maybe
parked.
there's no
How
electricity.
can I give you the gas
People have
right
come
now?
Okay, so when I
as
get
far
up
as
to
Long
yeah,
Island
okay.
to come right here on this side at 197.
Mister, go ahead,
And
go ahead.
40 for the things are getting almost violent. And the guy who's running the gas station says he's gonna close.
You are at the
This is
pump?
Yeah.
You are not
the
at the pump.
aftermath.
I am at the pump. Somebody.
Somebody's pumping gas there.
Like, yo, that side is good. He talked his own fucking way. That fucking ass is stuck.